Good afternoon, mates, and welcome to my video from Sydney down in New South Wales, where I can see the pub from here, mate. This guy he's come to my attention because he looks like a riddle account, and from a distance, he kind of looks like a Vietnamese younger version of David Schwartz. I could be wrong. I could be just throwing it out there, but it's a really weird account, right? He claims to have 1,295 of his XRP as his lifetime achievement, and I know that's great for some people, but his math doesn't math. No, he's been seriously doing this since he was 2017, and he bought 100 XRP. In what looked like, a really, really sweaty palms moment here. His heart was racing, his palms were sweaty, a little bit of hesitation, and he had to push just a little bit harder. I mean, I'm not sure what he's trying to refer to here, all right, before finally sliding what? Sliding the mouse across the screen to buy $21 of XRP back in 2017. Now, I mean, okay, that's a pretty insane moment for some people. $21. I suppose in Sydney it would have been a few extra dollars based on their conversion rate. But obviously, like he went on to say that he bought 3 XRP per week since that moment. So in the Corona lows, when he was sipping those Corona beers, he bought 33 cents of XRP during the Corona week. I mean, he could have bought a lot more beer than that. I mean, I bet you he bought a beer for more than 33 cents. And he's claimed in one of his posts that, it's somewhere, that he's been, putting away 0.5% of his XRP, or his salary, to buy XRP every single week. Now, this Australian accent is pretty fucking awful, so I'll revert to English. And yeah, it's just really, really weird. Really weird account. So let's just say that he's a riddling. He's a riddling and a diddling. Let's do a little bit of math to see if he's a riddling and a diddling. So this guy here, he's really jealous of this guy. He's got 2,190. And by the way, I'm not saying to air that any amount of XRP is good, bad, or ugly. I actually don't give a fuck. It's all a big psyop. So it doesn't matter how much XRP you have. If you're willing to leave it forever, you'll be rich one day, okay? So that's fine. But let's just have a look. 2,190 minus, I've gone back into that dodgy Australian accent, so let's come out of that. Minus 1,295. Oh, he's jealous of somebody who's got 895 more XRP than him. Of course he has. 895. It's nothing like 589. No. So yeah, this guy's riddle diddling. So whatever you can get from him, get from him. But I'm going to give you an idea, right? He's saying how to develop a millionaire mindset. Buy 1,000 XRP at $3, which he's never done. No way in a million years has he ever done that. He bought it a lot cheaper. So that's an oxymoron in itself. And then you simply have to imagine it'll be worth $1,000 one day. Brilliant. Wonderful mindset. That is great. And yeah, if you just hodl and that's it, great. It probably will be one day. 2036. Something like that. But until then, he apparently... let's see if I can find it. Yeah, he apparently wants to keep buying until he gets to 1 million XRP. Now, again, the math ain't mathin'. In, what is it, 8 years, he's only managed to get 1,000. And he wants 1 million XRP. I mean, this guy's tripping, right? So he's got to be riddling. The only way he's feasibly ever going to do that on his current schedule is if he sells the tops and buys the bombs. And he's going to need to do that expertly. And that's going to assume there is tops and bottoms. And of course, most of the community think XRP is only ever going to go up. It's going to achieve adoption. It's going to do this, that, and the other. $1,000 by the end of the year, according to Broke Book, Beyond Broke, and his posse. And that's just, the psychology of XRP holding, and this entire psyop is nuts. So what can we take from it? We got Beyond Broke and his community. They're storing away 100,000 XRP in his digital ascension group. They're made for life. They're fine. They're done. But they're locked away. All right. So they're out of the game. In my mind, they're out of the game. I imagine, say, if XRP suddenly had a big, boom, maybe there was an alt season, which many are anticipating, and I kind of get the vibe is going to come later on in the year, maybe going into next year. If that happens, and let's just let's run the scenario. There's a sudden big surge in XRP price. I don't know, hits $22, something like that. And then perhaps people from the Digital Ascension group go, damn, I want to sell some. Then they probably won't be able to do that very quickly, because they've got to unlock it and get it, transferred out. I don't know. I'm not going to just suggest, but I suggest there might be a little bit of a delay there. Whereas people that hold it on their own wallets, for example, may be able to release some of that value if they want to. But most of the people in the Digital Ascension group, they're in it for the long run. They don't actually want to sell their XRP. They're going to leverage it, or they're just going to hold it. So they're out of the game as far as I'm concerned. How does the little guy succeed in a game where there are people with 100,000 XRP? How does the little guy succeed? And this count is evidence of a little guy. But he wants to have 1 million XRP one day. The only way is to do it, and I think this is how the game is set up. You've got people like Beyond Broke, who are suggesting XRP goes to $1,000 at the end of the year or next year. And that's insane in my mind. But it's setting up a scenario and a mindset. Again, I think that's a riddle. If the little guy has access to his XRP and does actually do something in euphoria, and then is lucky enough to buy again in ultimate fear, and let's say that scenario occurred a couple of times over the next 10 years, the little guy then becomes a bigger guy and catches up with those who already have their XRP stored away out of the game. That's the scenario that I can see coming, based on the mindset and the programming that's going on in the community. So, be that as it will, what will happen to the people that plan to leverage their XRP? Well, my concern is if those people waiting for a price, and they think, it's never going lower, if they wait for quite an inflated price in order to leverage their crypto, and they leverage it at a high value, and then it comes back down and they get stopped out and they lose their investment, I think they're going to be beyond broke. But I could be completely wrong on that. So what I think these strange little accounts and all this big psyop is trying to say is, it's going to be fun for a while, and then it's going to be god awful. So if you're the little man, you have an opportunity to increase your position over the coming years. And what's interesting about this account, he's got a deep, long timeline to 2035, which I agree with. I don't know necessarily these elements here. I'm going to look at these. They're interesting. But I definitely think 2036 will be a pinnacle year for XRP. It'll be the 24th year of his existence. The dragon year is a very important one for XRP, and I think that is going to be where we see everything we want to see. Prior to that, there's going to be a lot of changes in the world and a lot of distraction. And I think it's very, very simple. You do just keep buying, and then you consider the possibility of euphoria and fear. Bearable Guy's one main message with his lodestar was pretty much buy the fear and sell the euphoria. And I think that's going to be consistent, especially when you see the trends and the numbers and figures being thrown everywhere. Anyway, have a look at this account, see what you think. Take it with a pinch of salt. Don't believe a word you see or hear in the year of the snake, because your eyes will deceive you. Have a lovely weekend or week, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.